Alright guys, today in this one we're going to check out this original German 9mm Luger here. This is on loan today by my good friend Brad. Really appreciate that. And he sent us with some ammo for the review as well. So huge thanks to him. This is a 1940 production P08 model. For any of you guys that any of those numbers might mean something, there you go. And the owner says he thinks, possibly due to those markings there, that this may have been used in not sure about censoring, in one of the WWs. So we got 2 mags here. What's our capacity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I put a few rounds through this a couple weeks ago, but we think the ammo was too hot, so it kept jamming on every single shot. He said it prefers factory wimpy loaded 115 grain rather. So that's what we got here today. So hopefully she's going to run good for us. I'm not going to go real in depth on the history or the inner workings or anything like that. Obviously you got your mag release here. There is what should be your safety. Yep. And then you got to pull this guy back, and it makes kind of a triangle to cocker back there. And I know the old fuds are going to hate my terminology here, so go ahead and light me up in the comments there. There's your sights. The owner has obviously painted them red and white, which gives it a really nice contrast, makes them easier to see. And I'm not getting a great focus on them right now, but I really like these sights for precision because it's got more of a rifle type sight. So I really like that real sharp triangular point there. It's not going to block out a lot of the target, especially far range. And then you got that real nice V notch that it fits into perfectly there. Again, it looks way better. I just couldn't get it in focus there. So let me get her loaded up here, try her out, see how she does. I'm going to start out here about 7 yards. We'll go either for that left dot or the bottom dot there, see where our point of impact is. And then I'll set up some of our steel targets there, and we'll get to knocking those down. Alright, so these are basically my first shots. I don't count those 3 or 4 I got through it at the rifle range, so I'm going to go for the dot on the left. Just making sure I knew which way safety worked and made sure that it worked, which it does. And yeah, that thing is a little tack driver. Again, those are basically my first shots. So those 2 that went a little low there, I definitely pulled those. This thing's a freaking tack driver. And those sights make it real easy. So let me get this steel set up. I can't wait. All right, let's give it a whirl here. I do believe every one of those were hits on that last target. It's just stubborn and doesn't want to fall. So, you probably already noticed, but if this is your first time watching a Luger in action, she stands up like that for you. And you put your new mag back in, and pull her back a little, let her drop, and she's ready to go again. Let's see if I can do that one-handed without getting pinched here. I want to show you the empty mag. I want to show you something real quick. Okay, so what I wanted to show you was, it's throwing me a little bit due to the grip angle and maybe what do you want to call that, a beaver tail? Not exactly a beaver tail, but when I bring it up, see how the sight's high like that? I bring it up and it looks like that to me, and then I got to drop her down, so it takes a second. I bring it up, I'm like, oh, and then drop her down, then she lines up. In a way, that can be good, because if it's down, you'll be like, oh, where's my front sight? In like a high stress situation or something. I prefer when they're high so that I know right where it is, but this one's considerably high when I first bring it up. And then between each shot after the recoil, it stays high like that, and I got to drop her back down into that blade again. So it's going to be interesting trying to rapid fire this thing due to that. And that could just be me, but I found that interesting, so I wanted to share it with you guys. And this thing is actually, I'll throw the weight up specs, but it's not very heavy for being like all steel. It's pretty lightweight. And I don't want to dry fire this thing, but the trigger's pretty nice too. I'll point down range here and see if I can get it for you guys, but I can't do a weight on it. But I want to say it's like in the 4-pound range. But it has like a neat little stage to it I want to show you guys. So I know I said I was surprised how light it feels for being like an all steel construction, and then you guys just saw I put up it weighs 1.9 pounds, which does not seem that light. So it doesn't seem that heavy to me. It's weird. It must be balanced really well because it does not seem like it's that heavy. All right, I'm trying to think of how to show this to you guys. I'm going to be aiming at the target, but I want you to see the trigger staging I was talking about. So there's your take up. That's all the take up you have. Hopefully this will stay in focus while I get adjusted to aim at this target here. Okay. So there's our take up. I'll start applying pressure. You should have been able to see it travel rearward some, and then it got tight there. It stopped. So that's its stage, and then you pull through and it'll fire. And it's a very clean, crisp break as well. And hopefully you guys heard it hit the steel there. Actually knocked that guy over with that shot. After those 4 or 5 in a row, that wouldn't knock it over. Another interesting little thing I'm noticing, because I'm a millennial and I don't know nothing about these. It doesn't want to load unless you pull down on that guy right there. So you do that, and then you just drop her in. If I just try pressing straight down like a modern magazine, she does not go. Now we were just shooting, I believe they were his hand loads. So now we're shooting these Federal, and we'll see if it'll run these. It's Federal 115 grain American Eagle. Yeah, because that sight always resets high for me, I'm having a hard time rapid firing it there, at least on small targets. Should be all right on the gong there. But yeah, I gotta it almost feels unnatural. I gotta twist my wrist down, unnatural compared to what I'm used to. I gotta do what feels like twisting my wrist down like this to get the sights lined up. Got to slow down just a little bit like that, then it's no problem. But if I'm just ripping them off, the sights are just all over the place on me. There we go. That wasn't too bad rapid fire. Getting used to it. Again, that's a 16-inch gong, but alright, well, we had an empty still in the chamber with another one button up against it, so I think we outran it slightly. The old boy probably needs their recoil spring in there freshened up, be my guess. Alright, we'll do a little bit of a marksmanship test back here. I'm confident this thing's going to pass with flying colors. Like I said, I could already tell on my target over there, she's a freaking tack driver. So back here behind the camera, it's a laser rangefinder confirmed 15 yards to those bowling pins in the back row I have set up there. At widest, those are 4 inches wide. So basically, headshots 15 yards, freehand. So here we go. Ah, man, it's too easy with this thing. It's like a cheat code. I said it in the beginning of the video, but I really love these sights, and yeah, it's obviously the pistol's got to be accurate, which it freaking is, but those sights on top of it being an accurate pistol make it real stinking easy, because you just got that little triangle blade. It's not covering up your whole freaking bowling pin like a lot of the combat sights of modern day do. So let's go ahead and move to that right row there. Hopefully I can get them all without missing. It's definitely me if I miss one though, but I'm going to try my best here. Yep. I cursed myself there. We'll get them. And I want to try something kind of fun here. I'm going to shoot the very tippy tops of those, which, let me actually, this is how confident I am in this freaking pistol. Thing is amazing shooter. Tops of these, I measured them before. I think they're like 1 7/8 of an inch wide at the very top. Right there. So no more than 2 inches. I believe it's 1 7/8 like I said. So let's hit those from 15 yards. Freehand. Something barely bigger than my thumb, and I got small hands. Like I said, 1 7/8 of an inch. I just remember that front sight's white, so I just made it even more difficult on myself, but here we go. And you know, I want to make sure you guys believe me, so. Set you up back here, if I can get this thing situated right. I'll make sure I stand off to the left side there so I don't block it. Just occurred to me, it's going to be hard to zoom in with my editor so you can see exactly where they're impacting, but if I zoom in, then you're going to be like, ah, he picked up a different gun. So we will do, actually take a look at those. There's no hits at the top right too, except for that one's got one, they're kind of in the neck. Do a couple zoomed out and then a couple zoomed in. I omitted 2 shots just before those shots you saw right there. They were just going over the top of the pin, so did not include that. And yeah, it's difficult with that front sight being white. It's like disappearing against those bowling pins. So do these 2 zoomed in. Hopefully we see hits at the very tops like I was aiming for. All right. Well, that time I was slow shooting, we got a malfunction here. But, you know, she's an old gun, so looks like we got it empty there. Didn't quite make it out, and you can see it's trying to chamber alive under there. So it wasn't necessarily the rapid fire that caused that for us there, but yeah, I mean, it's probably got, you know, old springs in it and such that with a refresh, probably be 100%. So I don't know where those were hitting other than towards the top, so actually said we'd go look at those 2 on the right. I just had to get in my groove there. Now that was free-handed, so you know, from a rest, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, there's our hit on that one. There's our hit on that one. And I think this one already had a hit, but it only had 2, I think. So one of those was definitely our hit. And then this one I don't think had anything on it, so there's the other hit. All right, well, I went into this review. I mean, I really wanted to shoot it. I've always wanted to try one of these out. But, you know, I figured my experience would just be like, oh, you know, it's just an old pistol. It's not going to like blow my socks off or anything like that. And boy, I couldn't be more wrong. Freaking tack driver. I gotta say, actually, too, again, those sights really helped, the sights that are on it. I don't think I've ever done that with a pistol with irons. I've done that with an accurate pistol. I've hit the very tippy tops of these. One of the optic review videos I did, pointing out how precise you could be with a little red dot, you know, 2 MOA red dot, and it was on a good pistol. But that's the first time I've done it with iron sights freehand. So yeah, the accuracy and performance of this thing, absolutely amazing. I'm just blown away by that fact alone. And like I said, I'm pretty confident that, you know, with the spring refresh, that this thing would run 100% as well. You know, it ran pretty dang good today. We just had a few little hiccups here and there, but for the same reason it wouldn't run slightly hotter loads when we had it out here a couple weeks ago, is probably why we're seeing those little hiccups. Because the springs are, you know, probably a little worn. And, you know, we weren't running plus P or anything like that. They were just 124 grain, but, you know, they had a little more oomph than those. So I think you can count on these pretty reliably as long as you, you know, refresh everything on them. So, yeah, I mean, as far as old pistols go, I absolutely love this thing. I'm just blown away by the performance, the accuracy. So, yeah, I actually really, really dig this thing. But big thanks again to my buddy Brad for loaning it for the review today and some ammunition. Really appreciate that. If you guys want to get yourself anything you see me use in my videos, like my target stand there, paper targets I use, steel targets, safety glasses, ear muffs, rangefinder, chronograph, and way more, links in the description for all that. And for things I cannot link to on YouTube, be sure to check out my campsite page, which is also linked under the video or in the about section. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.